Okay, guys, here I'm back on. I had some computer trouble there. Imagine that. But anyway, I thought I'd give you an update because it looks like it was about that. It was it. That was a 5-hour event, just like the last time. So I think that farther upholds my hypothesis number two about Nemesis. Most likely, coronal hole turned toward the Earth, and we have that pretty much constant backside connection now with Nemesis, according to the phi angles. According to the phi angle, there's Discover, just pulled it up to show you once again. This is the phi angle. Nobody's covering it. Suspicious observers made mention of it one time, and I called him on it, made a video debunking him, and he does not even show it anymore in his videos. So anything above 180 indicates a backside connection with another solar body behind the Earth. So as you can see, we've got a steady connection backside. And so what I think happened is, and I got these three synced, these two are synced, and we got a little bit extra time popped in since the last run. You can see it does get quite a bit lighter. More energy came in. But I got these three synced, and I'm just letting it run through so you guys can watch it. Remember, the event started at 17:20 UTC, and then about 00 we had 10:56. And after that, things quieted down solar wind speed wise. So here it comes again around, and then you'll see the missing hour in between, also 1400 to 1500 UTC. So no telling what happened there. But here we go, it's running through. These are the last 300 frames I pulled up. These three are synced. These two are synced, but they're not necessarily synced with these three. But every once in a while they coincide. So there you go. So here we got the phi angle, right? So what I think happened is, and it happened once before, and that's when I came up with that theory about coronal holes, was when a coronal hole turns toward the Earth, for instance, from the sun, and we get an interplanetary magnetic connection with it, then our solar wind speeds go up dramatically, as recorded on the ACE and the Discover satellites out by the L1 Lagrange point. But in this case, well, Nemesis is smaller. It's a brown dwarf, supposedly four to 5 times the mass of Jupiter. Jupiter being a gas giant, I'm sure it's a lot larger in appearance than the brown dwarf, which is probably a good bit denser. So it's probably a good bit smaller in appearance than Jupiter. And so when the coronal hole gets connected with the Earth, coronal hole stream, because we basically have a constant interplanetary magnetic field connection with Nemesis now. And whenever a coronal hole turns around, when Nemesis rotates, and a coronal hole gets connected to the Earth, it appears like it's a 5-hour event, because then by that time Nemesis is able to continue its rotation, and the coronal hole rotates out of the magnetic field influence. And it's the second time it's happened, so I'm pretty sure that's what's going on there. Thank goodness it's slowed down here. It's back to quasi-normal. So once again, these are all being measured inside the magnetopause. None of this is coming from the L1 Lagrange point to Discover. Here's the phi angle. See these numbers here? They're all above 180. In fact, Discover, they reconfigured this one because it used to be 0 to 360. They're not getting too many zeros, and they're getting a lot of stuff up around 360 or greater. So they want to see what the heck. And so they bumped it up from 0 to 40, 40 to 400 instead of 0 to 360. So you can see on ACE, they still have it at 0 to 360. And I pulled up the last, well, this is the last 24 hours on ACE too, so you can see everything pretty much above 180. There are a couple gaps showing up here. This one's about 2.5 hour gap, and here's one that's a little bit less than an hour. I checked this out earlier, I just didn't have time to mention in the last vid. And if you click this, it gives you the ground tracking station plots. So these gaps are coming in somewhere between ACE, which is out at the L1 Lagrange point, and the Earth. And remember, this ACE satellite, it's about 21 or 22 years older than the Discover satellite. So I think maybe its data relay system isn't quite as sophisticated, I'm sure. No way. I mean, 22 years. Discover's a 22-year upgrade. But anyway, here's the Solar Ham space weather tutorial. And you got the thing about the L1 Lagrange point up here. Then you can click on that and it takes you to the L1 Lagrange point. And it also has the explanation about the phi angle. And so if it's 0 degrees, it's pointing from the Earth to the Sun. If it's at 180, it's pointing from the Sun to the Earth. And it says the rapid changes in the phi angle in conjunction with increased solar wind speeds. And that only happens during CME impact, which is an extreme event. And nothing like that's going on around the Sun. So here's the L1 Lagrange point. It's a fixed orbit position. There's like a little saddle in here, magnetic stability. And the ACE and the Discover satellites both are parked in here and sort of ride around in this area. 930,000 miles in front of the Earth. There's the Sun, 92 million miles out this way. So it's not the scale, of course. And basically it's just to give early warning of a CME impact within a few hours. That's why they have them out there. So none of that stuff's coming from there. And then we have the normal, this is the University of Michigan geospace run. They're just getting all their information from this geosynchronous satellites orbiting the Earth. That goes 13, 14, and 15 at the 22,236 mile mark. And you can see there's the density. The darker the color, the more dense. So this is the bow shock as represented in red on the ISWA magnetosphere SIMS. And the Sun to the Earth, the sun side, the dark side are flipped on this geospace versus the ISWA. So this is the sun side on the left, on ISWA it's on the right. But the reason I got you over here again is just to show you that normally the bow shock's out at 10 Earth radii. And each Earth radii is about 4,000 miles. But now that this big planet's out in front, look how far it's being pushed out, and it's still out there, even though we got the solar wind event, high-speed coronal hole stream event with Nemesis looks like it's over with. We still have this big planet in front of the Earth to contend with, and you see all these waves of density coming through. And you can, obviously they're not coming from out from the sun, because it's nothing's being picked up by ACE and Discover, and it's still out there, at least out to 18, sometimes bumping up beyond there. This is the velocity. So basically, like I was showing you before, this is the Y cut, looking across from an equatorial point of view, straight across the planet. This is like a cut of the magnetosphere, a cut plane. So pretend you're standing across from the planet. And then this is the cut, I just didn't see it there. And then RE stands for Earth radii. And this is the same C cut we look at on the ISWA, looking down on the planet. But so if you flip these around, basically they're oriented the same way. We got this extra push up to the, see it's pushing up that way sometimes, not so much there. So we'll just let this run through. Here comes the high-speed solar wind event again, 1720. And these are all synced. I'm just going to let it play through. I don't think I have anything more else to say on this one, really, except make use of that description box. Click links in there. Some of the links might be corrupted because YouTube's always messing with my stuff, and that's why I got to stack my comments the way I do. Put a comment up, if I pin it, then I have to put it, like for instance, hypothesis number 1 and number 2, I have to put them together. Hypothesis number 2 about the high solar wind speeds with the coronal hole stream link with Nemesis. That's number 2, but I have to put it in a reply below the hypothesis number 1, because unless you click newest first on my comment section, you're going to miss a lot of my stuff that I post underneath the videos that I can't possibly cover by just outlining it verbally in a video. So click the newest first link in the comment section and click the reply links, because a lot of times I might have something hiding under there. I mean, I got a ton of stuff I could put under there, and I used to do that, but I don't know, yeah, maybe that's why YouTube hides them on me. But I know some of the links in the description box have been corrupted. So if that's the case, just Google the particular title that I have up there for that particular item. And if you Google it on YouTube for a YouTube video in the YouTube search box, or just plain Google it, if it's not on YouTube, not a YouTube video, you should be able to get it. And I did place that primer filled video underneath Sweetleaf 505's comment on my video this morning about wanting the explanation for why dark matter and dark energy are bunk, which they are. And I mean, it has to do with, of course, it's all about the Benjamins, as in the C note, the $100 bills, money. The love of money is the root of all evil. I mean, that's why we don't have free energy. That's why Tesla got whacked and all his stuff got stolen. And this guy here, David Lapointe, who put out the primer fields video, said he was applying for patents and whatnot. But and there's a free energy thing involved there in this 2013 video. So I mean, I haven't kept up to date on it because I've been focused on all this other stuff. But whether or not that, that's never going to happen. As a matter of fact, oil is abiotic. It doesn't come from biology or from decaying plant matter or whatever. It's produced by radioactive and high energy reactions within the earth, convert methane to oil. Hey, I could link that too if anyone's interested. There's a good video I have on that. So anyway, this is it. It's played through. Let you watch it. God bless and peace. And I'm out.